Hi, and welcome to Sound Off with System One. I'm your host, Karen Callahan, and I'm super stoked. Today, I'm here with industry leaders from System One's renewable energy team. System One is a leading provider of specialized, highly technical, outsourced services and workforce solutions to critical infrastructure, technology, life sciences, and government sectors in the US, Canada, and the UK. And today we're going to talk about one of those outsourced services with Tony Robinette, our Director of Renewable Energy, and Mark Polly, our Quality and Engineering Manager. And we have a wonderful announcement. We are thrilled to announce that System One has opened a Renewable Energy Training Center in Houston, Texas. So as you're joining us, please go ahead and drop in the comments where you're joining from and what industry you're in. Allie Hayes from our marketing department is there to answer your comments. And also feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn. As everybody knows, renewable energy holds the promise of a clean, sustainable power for future generations. And as the demand for green energy has grown, so has System One. So without further ado, Tony, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks, Karen. Tony Robinette, I'm the director for our renewable energy group here in Houston. A little bit about myself. I've been in the industry for over 14 years, all with System One. And as I mentioned, we are based here in Houston, Texas, and primarily run our wind operations out of Houston and Dallas as well. I was recruited, straight out of college as a young buck many years ago, started with this company as a junior recruiter. Moved into a senior recruiting role, learned more about operations and resource management, assisted with a lot of service delivery, and now I've moved on up to direct the whole operation. So it's exciting, love what I'm doing, and glad to be here. Mark, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
You bet. Welcome, everybody. Quality and Environmental Health and Safety Manager. While that's one title, I do wear many hats. To support this organization. I have an engineering background, involved with quality management, and I've also been fortunate enough to create the curriculum and the quality management system that we are using in our new facility with the GWO BST. A little bit about my past. So I got into the wind industry a little over 3 years ago, and I was fortunate enough to start out at the ground level. So I ran the tag lines, I cut fiberglass and mixed chemicals. And over the course of 3 years, I ended up leading a 3-man blade repair team, and get this, repairing blades connected to the turbine from a platform suspended by 2 steel cables about 200 feet in the air.
I don't know if I could do that. Like, for real, Mark.
It is the craziest thing.
I'm afraid of blades. What does it look like up there?
Oh, it's extraordinary. There's nothing to be said. I think the coolest part is climbing up and getting on top of the turbine and just standing up there and looking out over, if you're in the fields or up in the mountains. It is absolutely extraordinary. So it's been just a great opportunity.
It sounds like you're a big fan.
Oh, I just absolutely love it. I never would have believed that this is where I would end up in my career. That's for sure.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. It's been quite the deal, I have to say.
I love it. I love it. Wait, Tony, we were talking earlier. You had told me that System One's been in this industry for maybe approximately 15 years. Can you give us some background on that? Like what we do, who we support?
Sure. So System One, our renewables group, we've been a recognized leader in providing technical services and resources to utility scale renewable projects, wind, solar, battery storage. We're partnered with numerous OEMs, owner operators, large construction firms, EPCs, and other service providers within the renewables industry. And we provide a variety of field support functions. Our teams, we have experience servicing all major OEM turbine platforms, the big four: GE, Vestas, Siemens, Nordex. We also have experience with a lot of legacy models as well: Suzlon, Clipper, Mitsubishi, just to name a couple.
Oh, wow.
Currently, our team manages about 200 field service technicians at numerous wind farms, solar farms, battery storage projects throughout the USA. We've worked at many countries, international locations, Mexico, Canada, Australia, Brazil, Peru, Puerto Rico, just to name a few. So we've placed thousands of technicians over the years at a variety of projects at probably over 500 facilities to date.
I love it. I love that the global reach we have, and shout out to Puerto Rico because that's where I was born. So that's amazing. Transitioning. How has the renewable energy business evolved?
So that's a great question. I was fortunate to join this industry pretty much, 2007, 2008, right as it took off, and have been able to grow right alongside it, right? From the 1 megawatt turbine to, the 4 and 5 megawatts we're now seeing on land. So from a System 1 perspective, we started off in 2008 primarily supporting one of the larger companies at the time in the US, Clipper Wind Power, with a lot of their new construction projects, field assembly. We were doing quality control, EHS, providing site level management, as well as supporting a lot of their PMO office and administrative positions. So we like to call those the cowboy days, the good old days, back before, when there was limited standards and technology was changing, every year. So there were new platforms left and right. And, it was a challenge to keep up with. A few years later, we got our feet under us. We started supporting more mainstream OEM and owner operators, primarily with existing farms at this point. Maintenance support, blade inspections and repairs, things along that line. Over time, we've grown, we've expanded our service offerings. We do now support solar and battery energy storage projects and provide technicians across the U.S. now for that as well. And more recently, we've evolved and expanded our footprint, especially here in Houston now. And we recently built our new RETC, Renewable Energy Training Center, which is going to allow us to provide, specialized safety training and technical training, including GWO and much more that we'll touch base on, as we discussed during the live stream today.
Yeah, you were mentioning to me earlier, you and Mark actually, that there was a critical need for high quality, accessible training to support wind turbine operations and other renewable energy skills. So knowing that, why did System 1 invest in our Renewable Energy Training Center?
So there's a few reasons there. Everyone knows about the huge investments being made over the years and more specifically recently into renewable energy and infrastructure. So we did recognize the change coming and realize that, there has been a depleted workforce over the years and a lack of qualified technicians. And a lot of companies, a huge challenge, especially the past few years, has been manpower. Traditionally you could run to a wind school or technical college or maybe another subcontractor to grab folks, but there is no one else to grab. The wind schools are tapped out. A lot of their graduating classes are already spoken for. The demand for manpower now is unprecedented. You have companies fighting over technicians, inflating pay rates, offering huge sign-on bonuses. So it's really a challenge and a battle out there these days. And we're honestly, trying to get creative here at System 1. And, COVID allowed us to kind of get our feet back under us and come up with a solution of creating this training center where we could bring our own guys in and not have to worry about wait times for GWO training or other trainings or limited class sizes. Or, we also noticed a lot of customers now are moving towards global standardization, and we want synergy across the industry. And a few of the trainings, depending on what turbine model you're supporting, there's various, turbine specific training that we were having to do. We may have trained a guy 2 or 3 different classes, different rescue devices, just to support our clients. So, moving towards GWO, bringing it all in-house allows us to provide all that training at not an increased cost on our part. And, it's a huge bonus for us. The need for more advanced specialized training as well, like blade repair and rigging and troubleshooting and things like that. These are a few things that wind schools and other traditional simplified training modules may not give you. But now we can bring those guys in, touch them with our own hands, spend more time on certain topics if we need to. It's not a pass or fail scenario like it would be when we're outsourcing training.
That's fascinating. Mark, Tony touched upon GWO certification. Could you let us know what it means to be GWO certified?
You bet. That's a great question. And GWO is becoming more and more prevalent within the industry. So GWO stands for Global Wind Organization. It's a nonprofit organization made up of the leading wind turbine manufacturers. And their primary goal was to provide an injury-free workplace. And so to do that, they came up with this program called GWO BST, which is Basic Safety Training. This basic safety training is broken up into 4 modules. You get your first aid, you get your manual handling, you get your fire awareness, and you get your working from heights. And it's pretty cool. With our particular facility, we're able to do real life training. So if you have that picture, it's kind of a cool picture.
Yeah. Tracy, can we put up that picture? But explain this.
So here's an example of some of the training that we can provide. So you'll notice we have the ladders. Well, these ladders are specific to the type of ladders that you would find out in a wind turbine. In this particular exercise, we have a guy hanging there and he has become a victim. He's no longer able to get himself down. So we train the guys to come in, climb up these ladders, and do a rescue of these individuals and get them down to the ground. So I just can't say enough about the real life experience that you will have through this training facility. Another one of my favorite ones is we have a harness, and these guys will connect to this harness and they will end up hanging in the air in our training facility. And it will be just like if they had gone over a wind turbine.
Are these people volunteers or are they voluntold to do it?
I tell you what, it is so exciting. The enthusiasm that these guys have when they come into our training facility. And
rescue me. Like, no, I'm not doing that.
I'm telling you. And it makes such a difference having been there, because you watch these guys. It's like, what's it like? What's it really like? And so you can talk to them about it. You can say, this is how it goes. We have that ladder, for instance, right? And so when you're climbing inside a wind turbine, you have to pace yourself to get so that when you're not completely exhausted at the top. So we have this ladder. It only goes 20 feet, but it's fun for these guys to teach them how to climb. And also these young kids are fun because they just squirrel right up that ladder and back down. And I look at it and say, okay, guys, at that rate, when you get up 300 feet, you're going to be exhausted. And so it's just really cool. Hanging from the lanyard that I talked about, what I like about it is it gives them an opportunity to realize, and when I talk to them when they're hanging there, it's like, look, guys, this is what it's like if you go over. But I want to emphasize that you don't need to panic. You have all of this safety equipment that's going to take care of you. So we go through this training. We teach them how to relax. We teach them how to put themselves into a comfortable position while they wait for somebody to come and rescue them.
Mark, we have a question, or maybe Tony, we have a question from Aiden. And he's asking if the renewable energy training session specializes in people that work in the field or if it applies to workers in the office as well.
Well, that's a great question. We can take, I'm not sure, but what I would like to say is we can take someone who's worked in the office and we can train them and get them capable to be able to work out in the field. Maybe that's an easy way to do it. And that's the other thing that we like about this training facility is truly, like we said, we can take somebody off the road who has no experience. And by the time that they're done with us, they should, hopefully, we try to ensure they'll have the confidence that they know when they go out in the field what it's going to be like and that it's going to be okay. I also remember somebody asking me, it's like, how are you not afraid when you're up in the heights? And some of the best advice I got from someone is like, you have to trust your gear. And when you trust your gear, that'll help with the fear that you might have. And with this training facility, we put them in a situation where they have to trust their gear, and they begin to see it's like, oh, this is pretty neat. So the other thing that I really like about this facility, with my engineering background and quality management and curriculum building, we can adapt to what the industry needs. If there's a manufacturer, if there's a company out there and there's something that they need to train their guys on, we can build the curriculum to meet that need. One of the favorite things we're pursuing, or that's been brought up to us as an example, is in the solar industry. They're starting to build stations throughout the United States for cars to charge. This company can come into us and we can mock the setup and we can build a curriculum. So these guys come through us, we teach them how to repair it, and they go right out into the field doing the job. And like Tony says, we're getting into blade repair, and we'll have multiple levels of blade repair that we can teach these guys. It's pretty cool. We're small enough, but yet big enough to do whatever it needs to take care of who's ever needing it.
I love it. I love that we're training people. I love, because that's the benefit for the people being I love that they come out of their fully certified field technicians capable of fulfilling the needs of the renewable energy industry. I love the fact that we can provide for companies who need these these are fully vetted people that can go work. So those companies that can hire these people, they're all wrapped up in a nice, neat package and ready to go. So it's like a win-win. I love it. I love it. With that being said, what does the future hold for the Renewable Energy Training Center?
And Tony, you want to go ahead and talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So right now, we're currently offering the GWO BST as well as some advanced level blade training as well. We're hoping to expand here very shortly into the GWO blade repair course module, and also the GWO technical training, the BTT, which covers the electrical, mechanical, and hydraulic portions. And also as well, creating curriculums for advanced technical training, including level 1 through 3 blade repair and inspection, advanced rigging techniques and tagline operations, electrical inspection, troubleshooting, mechanical maintenances, torque and tensioning. So we still have a long way to go, but we're gearing up, and we'll keep growing and adding on as we need to, and continuing to service our clients in the industry. And I just want to put out there, System One, we're definitely still needing plenty of technicians. We're actively looking to grow our team for wind and solar. We're looking for all levels of experience, entry level, any folks wanting to switch industries, get into the clean industry, and anyone that wants to travel and see the world and have a rewarding career, we welcome it.
Absolutely. Connect with anybody, connect with our panel. Contact information is being dropped in the comments section. And absolutely. we welcome everybody to connect. And if you're looking for a new career path, a change in careers, please join us. And I'm so bummed out because this is actually, we're at the end of our time here. So thank you again, gentlemen, so much. You have no idea. We truly appreciate the time that you've spent with us this week. We know your time is extremely valuable, and we're so happy that you chose to spend time with us to discuss your announcement, the Renewable Energy Training Center.
You bet. Thanks, Karen. And thanks to all that are watching. We are a really cool group of people, and we would love to have you come and join our team for sure.
Excellent. All right. Well, again, that's the time we have. Please join us again, same time, same channel, 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time every Thursday, streaming on LinkedIn and YouTube. Next week, please join us. Host Allie Hayes will be talking to her expert panel about interview skills and how to answer what's your biggest strength. So we will see you then.